What's going on, family? What's going on, guys? First and foremost, man, drop a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. You guys know the routine. Y'all know the routine, man. I need to feel that energy, man. I don't think y'all excited to be here, man. I don't think y'all grateful for another day, man. I don't think y'all really are pursuing that millionaire mindset, man. I need to see some flames. Okay, Janae's with me, yo. Janae's with me. I guess she's the only one that's with me, man. Janae's the only one that's gonna climb to the top, guys. Okay, Destiny, I see you, yo. I see you. Let's go, family. Y'all not excited, man? If y'all haven't learned anything over these past 2 weeks, man, I don't know what y'all been doing in these markets, man. I'm here to tell y'all. But guys, man, I'm not here to throw a concert, even though I probably will be pretty good at it, guys. I'm here to introduce you to Candlestick Trading. Guys, welcome to Next Level Wealth Trading with me, your host, Antoine Boatwright, and my host, Renisha, soon to be Simon Willis. Guys, let's go, man. So y'all say y'all can hear me and see me. So what me and Nisha wanted to do today, guys, was do something, I guess not really special, but you know, something we haven't done in a while, and focus on training, guys, and actually identify this type of technique or strategy. I don't really like using the word strategy, but tips and tricks that you guys can use within the market. Now, I actually didn't get to finish, so shame on me, right, guys? I'm actually going to finish this and then throw it out for the team to use. But I'm going to carry on outside of this, guys, with me and Nisha, and I'm going to use a website that I've passed out probably like a billion times, man. Probably like a billion times, man. But let me just go ahead and get set up real quick, guys, before I gotta get some vibes going. So before we do this, guys, I gotta be in my energy, man. I gotta be in my energy. So that means for you too, guys, get relaxed, you know, cigarettes, smoke them if you got them. You know, I stopped smoking like 7 years ago, so shout out to me, guys. But basically get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be comfortable tonight, guys. I don't know how long we're going to be here. So if you stand for however long we're going to be here, guys, I congratulate you, but I am looking for some awesome moves in the market. But let me go ahead and get situated, guys. Nisha, you got anything you want to say so the family can hear and see you real quick?
Well, hold on. I'm setting up my ring light. Give me 2 minutes.
Got you. I feel you. Well, other than that, guys, while she getting set up, man, how was y'all trading week, man? How was y'all trading week? Okay, that's good enough for me. So, okay, pretty decent. I got my vape on hand. See, that's what I'm talking about. Hookahs, like, guys, chill. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good. I think this week, guys, these past 2 weeks has been learning lessons. And the fact that you guys are saying pretty okay, don't misunderstand. It's gonna be great from the lessons you guys learn if you're still persevering and really trying to maximize and growing the skill set, guys. I mean, you see it right before us, guys. We saw 2 individuals today. If you guys don't know who they are, Q Banks and Jessica Lane. I'm not sure where Jessica Lane is from, but Q Banks, he actually came from IM, guys, years before I was in. And he's a successful trader. So, and that doesn't show you that it can't be done, guys. I don't know what will, man. But Nisha, you got set up before I go into it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say, y'all, just take the sauce, take the information. If you haven't been in the Wealth House, get in there, get consistent, and just know that what me and Antoine do on a weekly basis is so you guys can be able to learn these concepts so you can do what we do yourself, right? It can be easy to send you signals. If you're not getting away from signals, we'll send you some sauce here and there, but we want you to be able to understand what's happening in the market. So please ask questions and make sure you take this information we go over and go practice it, right? Practice it, mark it up. And I believe, Antoine, you're going to make it a little bit interactive tonight. So he's going to go over this information. We'll kind of bounce off each other and literally just, guys, be interactive, ask questions. Let's get it.
Awesome, guys. So that's my amazing host right there, guys. I don't even like to say the word co-host because we both can do this, guys, freely. But our topic tonight, guys, is candlestick training. So we're not going to go too in depth with it, guys, but I'm going to expose some things that I think will help people. Great things that I saw today that will help play that even if you're not in the on the right side of the trend, these moves that happen in the market, depending on how you trade, like definitely like shout out to Daryl, who I know scales all the way down to like the 1 minute. Those are trades that you can take. Understand, guys, if you're only searching for a certain amount of pips, identifying these candlesticks or identifying these patterns in the market, that's going to help you be a little bit more fluent when it comes to making your decision, guys. True enough, right? So I want to say is that with the candlestick training, ours is very vague right now, guys, because we're going to show you live. Now, there's more in-depth stuff that you guys have the ability to use. Go in Wealth House, go in the media section, go either on under files or links, and you'll be able to find the Candlestick Bible, which a lot of traders use. Guys, that was put out way before me and you even knew about trading, and it's pretty interesting to learn about the culture of where actual trading comes from, guys. It's not an American thing. It's not a European thing, guys. It's an Eastern thing from pretty much Japan, guys. I'm not going to go into the history, but when you learn more about that, guys, doesn't that make you more of a pro at it? You're a little bit more confident when you know even stuff that you think that you don't even care to need to know, right? Now, let's go into candlestick training, guys. This is our training, and I'm going to flip between the charts, guys, as we're going through these things, right? So this is candlestick training, hosted by Renisha Willis, Antoine Boatwright, guys. Now, the first thing I want to go into, guys, this is the first thing you really need to understand, is what actually is a candle, right? What's the importance of a candle, right? So you see both of these candles, they're both representing a bullish and bearish candle. Obviously, we've been through the academy or some sort of training. You already know what these candles are, right? Or you already know what a candle is as far as like what it looks like, but you don't truly know what a candle is, right? And that's stuff that a lot of traders don't pay attention to because, again, information that you don't think you actually need, but it's very important. It will actually start making sense on stuff that you may be struggling with. So the market opens with the high and the close, guys, right? I mean, with the high and the low, right? So when you're bullish, the market opens low and you look, and I can't like show you what my mouse does. Can y'all see? No, y'all can't see my mouse. So if you look at this bullish candle, right? Well, let's go into what a candle is, right? And then we'll go into the bullish and bearish, right? So candlesticks show emotion by visually representing the size of price moves with different colors, right? So being that we use green and red, or we use blue and red, or whatever color you guys use to identify your bull and bearish candles, right? So traders use candlesticks to make trading decisions based on regularly occurring patterns that help forecast the short and long-term direction of price, guys. Obviously, if we're buying or selling, so short meaning we're selling, long-term meaning we're buying. Understand, the buy is always longer than the sell. They don't teach you that, guys, but the buy is always longer than the sell, right? So if you look at this candle, if you look at the bullish candle, it's open, it opens low, right? So when you look at it, you see where it says open, guys. Now I can't, let me see. Okay, I can see if people are responding, and let me know if people are interacting, Nisha, because you know the way the Mac is set up. So open low, right? When we're buying, when we're looking at a bullish candle, forget the idea that you're buying. Just think bullish candle, right? You open low. So it's represented by when we see those wicks, guys, when price goes and creates these wicks, and then you finally see the candle close, it closes high, representing a bullish move, representing a potential move or a buy, guys. Now we know that that's going to happen on the smallest time frame. So obviously you're not looking for like 1 to 2 pips because this could happen on like the 1 minute. But when you're looking at, you know, the daily 4 hour, then it starts giving you these better perceptions of moves, right? It's important to understand that each candle opens on a high and a low, guys. Now we'll go into that stuff, you know, later on, because all this stuff serves a purpose for you guys to kind of be in the flow of how you should be understanding the market. So bearish, right? The bearish, because we're looking for selling opportunities, but let's ignore that. Bearish opens high, closes low. So as you see, guys, you see instead it's the opposite of that bullish move. price opened at a high point of the market, right? Normally we consider this what? Resistance. We consider this a supply zone. So an open high. The highest point it went was that wick, opposite for the bullish candle. The lowest point it went was that wick on the bullish move, right? So if you see where it closed low, now for the selling candle or the bearish candle, it closed low, guys. So you see where it created another wick. The actual close is where the body is at. Those wicks, guys, are, it's true, they are smaller candles. I mean, candles on smaller time frames, pretty much representing, but price moved there too fast that it didn't even register in the system, pretty much creating these wicks, right? So guys, understand that is super important when you're looking at the market. If you think this stuff doesn't matter, I promise you, when you actually start going to the chart and identifying just a candle hole, like doesn't matter what type of candle, guys, just a candle opening and closing on different time frames, you'll start to see like, oh, okay, these are moves where it's like, because when we get these gaps in the market, I have to pay attention to that, and you'll see how the sequence of the market should be opening and closing. When you start to see funny stuff, not that you should be really trying to paint the picture of the market with your eyes, guys, you obviously use data points within this, right? So let's go to the next thing, right? So understand, guys, candles tell a story, creating new information or data for traders to analyze, right? Using candlesticks help make a bias determining direction for the time frame the trader is viewing. Now, when we're looking at time frames, that's what I mentioned before, guys. When we're looking at those open and closes, this is why you've ever heard, like, for instance, Malcolm, guys. Malcolm, I've heard him say in his chat, in his gold trade chat, that, hey guys, I'm waiting to see what the daily candle looks like, because the daily is going to give him a better perception, just that one candle, on what the market may be doing right now. Obviously, we're looking at previous data, we're looking at the trend, you know, things that you guys already know. We're looking at the trend, we're looking at the momentum of the market, things like that. Are we at a level of resistance? But what happens when you're in the middle and it's like, I want to get in, or I know I can get in an entry, but I don't know what's going on, right? That's where you wait to see how the market closes for that day, and then you jump in, you know, guys, using you know, the theory of 38 to 50%, right? So each new candle provides further confirmation or exposes a violation in your personal bias. Now, when you're using this, it is better to use it on a daily time frame. But guys, understand, each time frame creates a pattern or a candle that you can use to be in either early, or, you know, pretty much predict or pretty much to get out of a trade, right? How many times you guys have been in the market where you've seen like, man, this thing looks like it's about to, you trust your trade, or you trust whatever trade that you got, right, or idea that you got, but it starts looking like it's not going to perform the way you think. But you're like, man, they say trust the trade, right? Most of the time when we say that, guys, it's that you've created an analysis and you have to give the market a chance to do its thing. That's what the stop loss is for. But if you're meticulous, such as like me or Nisha, you want an ability to see, should I even stay in this trade if I'm in profit or if I'm in drawdown, right? So it will, when you get these data points from candles closing, it'll tell you, or it'll give you at least a slight confirmation that, man, I think that this thing, at first it was buying, I went up like 20 pips, but then, you know, you're trying to obviously let the market unfold, but it comes back and now you're only up 12 pips, but you're like, man, it ain't at my entry, I'm pretty good, but it's getting pretty close, man. You know what I'm saying? You can identify a candle that could help you be outside of that trade, guys, or confirm where to continue entering in the trade, guys. And I'm gonna show you guys this stuff live once we move forward, right? So different types of candlesticks, guys. Again, this is really incomplete, so we're gonna kind of freestyle stuff. Now, I did patterns with this, guys. But what I wanted to show you is that there are certain patterns that can be identified with one candle. For instance, right, a bearish engulfing. How many of you guys, I mean, excuse me, a bullish engulfing. How many of you guys have ever seen where a candle, a bull candle, which is, I don't know what color you guys use. I'm just assuming you use the generic green or blue. A bull candle is bigger than the candle that closed next to it, to the left of it, right? It's like, oh snap, man. That could be the identification. If you guys, and it's kind of looks like what I showed you guys today. If you guys remember my confirmations earlier for UJ, where I showed you, hey man, this is where the bank's entering. It almost gave this depiction right here, guys. Now that candle was larger than the previous candle, but we don't want to just get wrapped on that because that was only on a smaller time frame. But that could be an indication that price is actually going to start continue in that direction. Obviously, if it's bullish, guys, what are we looking for if it's bullish? Let me see who's paying attention. What are we looking for if it's bullish, guys? What type of move in the market are we looking for if price is bullish? Y'all don't know? So you got 12 people on this call. Y'all don't know. I really wish you wouldn't have answered, Janae. Idiot, I know you know what's up. We got new people on the call? Like this your first time on the call? Either way, guys, either way, I just wanted to make sure, you know, people are locked in and understanding like what's going on, because when you see this, it's like, okay, if I find this like on a 4-hour time frame, man, I may be able to spot that price could be bullish. I obviously on the other side, if I miss this position or percentage of this position, can you guys see my mouse? Y'all can't see my mouse. I'm over here tripping, guys. Yeah, anyway, if you just go half of that candle, right? If you entered right then and there, guys, then maybe you would have a position. But if you missed that move and you were waiting for confirmation, which we want to wait for candles to close, guys, you would have to wait for a retest, 38 to 50%, guys. Obviously, we know it can dive deeper, but that'll give you at least an idea that, man, the market could be potentially buying up. Now, there is another instance where you'll see a bullish candle and it's not representing a buy move, right, guys? How many of you guys have seen an aggressive? Now, it was a buy, but on whatever time frame that the candle initially broke out of, right? How many of you guys have seen a bullish candle, blue or green, and then it starts selling the next candle? Well, guys, you have to be able to identify the entire trend, right? Where you see like, oh man, this is a bullish engulfing. They've talked about this before, but you didn't pay attention to the previous move or the entire trend. Yeah, it was a bullish engulfing to come back to that position to sell off aggressively, because the move, when you see moves like this and it continues selling off, that's guaranteeing. I wouldn't say guarantee. We don't want to use that word. That's almost confirming. That's pretty much confirming that price is aggressively to that direction. Or, you know, it just depends on how the trend is looking, guys, because again, this could be the start of consolidation, trapping, you know, buyers and sellers in, you know, so you have to be able to spot that. But guys, when you see this, you need to pay attention to the overall trend. But, you know, obviously if we're at a level of support or we're at a level of demand, we're looking for potential buys, and we get a move like this on an hour to whatever time frame you're looking at that confirmed, because again, it depends on what you're looking for. Your bullish move could be on the 15-minute, but you're only looking for 25 pips. That still validates that it was a bullish engulfing. It just may not stay bullish forever. You see what I'm saying, guys? Now, another example is a bearish engulfing, guys, right? So if you look at it in orientation, the bearish engulfing is supposed to be bigger than the previous candle, which should be a bullish engulfing. Or what me and Nisha know how to do is that something that I learned from Oren Wright, where the candle is super strong. You guys, if there were like multiple candles or like a consolidation period where price was previous to that bearish engulfing, right? You can literally engulf or see if price engulfed all that move. And then that confirms that, yeah, price is stronger because literally the past 4 or 5 candles up until a certain point, it engulfed that, saying that at least on that time frame, it's strong in that direction. You see what I'm saying, guys? So these are confirmations that you guys are going to be able to use. Now, I want to bring up, well, I'm going to allow Nisha to bring this up and we kind of go through this together. Nisha, can you bring up Trading Campus Candlestick? type that in your search engine and it'll take you to the site that I've showed you guys before.
Okay.
Because I want to go over, I want you guys to see one, this will kind of give you guys an idea of like patterns and stuff from this website. So please use it. When Nisha shows it on her search engine, you
Say the name one more time. Trading Camp.
Trading Campus Candlestick. If you do that, it'll take you directly to the page we need.
Okay, thank you.
So I know the biggest question people has asked lately, guys, is what is a doji? Like, how do you identify a doji? So I wanna kind of talk about that too, with that website that she's bringing up, guys. And then we can just go from there and start going into the charts, man. So you see, it's given the same thing of what I showed you guys, that open and close. That's important. You need to know if a candle opens high or closes low. You need to know that. Scroll down just a little bit more, Nisha. So y'all see it says Trading Campus on her search engine, but just type in candlesticks when you look on the search engine because it'll take you directly there. Because if you're anything like me and lazy like me, you're going to go to Trading Campus. You're not going to know how to get to this exact page and you're going to give up, right? So type Trading Campus Candlestick in your search engine, guys, right? So just kind of scroll down a little. Right there, a doji, right? Perfect example. Why didn't I find that? So guys, same thing. A doji is a candle as well, right? It's a candle as well, but it represents indecisiveness in the market. And guys, this website actually gives you like a lot of all that. But anyway, high to low, right? You see where it opened and closed. It's a small window compared to like a candlestick of where price opened and closed. And it even says it on the thing. It says indecisive. Are y'all seeing that? but we can identify and label it when it represents that color. Obviously, I would trust my MetaTrader 4 on finding the exact, type of doji it is, versus like relying on TradingView when I need to scale down on a doji like this, guys. But it represents indecisiveness. What else represents indecisiveness in the market, man? I'm gonna see if people are paying attention. Janae, you cannot answer. Yeah, Janae's the only one I know that cannot answer, yo. What else represents that we see all the time, man? I want to see if somebody can get it, yo. What else represents indecisiveness in the market that y'all literally see all the time? Come on, guys, work with me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. I guess that wasn't a trick question. You see them? You see them? I guess that wasn't a trick question, yo. That's what's up, man. Exactly. So if you find a doji, no matter what the time frame, what are you actually looking at, guys? Consolidation. Wow, that is crazy, right? That's crazy that's what a doji represents. So when we find, well, we'll cross that later on. So can we go down a little bit more? All right, guys. So this specific website you guys can look at on your own, but look at the hammer, the hanging man, the shooting star, inverted hammer, right? So look, guys, there's even two dojis below it, a dragonfly doji representing a bullish move, a gravestone doji representing a bearish move. But between the shooting star and hanging man pattern and hammer and inverted hammer, guys, even though I can identify those as those candles, 9 times out of 10, most of those have like a candle smaller on the other side, or even if it's not that, I mean, not a candle, a wick on the other side, guys, and you got to scale down because a lot of people look at those and say, oh man, this is what this is. Now, it could represent the same, biased direction that you're looking at. But guys, I would even count those as dojis. You know what I'm saying? Because that's still representing when price has closed at a small block, you know that on a smaller time frame that it was consolidation. So I would still even represent those as dojis, even though I would like it to still be out of both ends. So when you guys are confused about dragonfly dojis, things like that, if it has this small body like the hanging man and shooting star and inverted, but it has wicks on both sides, even if it is like just a small wick, I'm considering that a doji. You know what I'm saying? Because it represents the same thing, guys. It open and close within a small segment versus like a bigger candle that's giving you more momentum within that candle. Y'all understanding me? So when you guys find, see dojis in the market, don't get confused because you ain't see that pretty dragonfly looking one or the cross one, whatever you see that literally has a small window of opening and closing, and you understand that, wow, man, if I could go down on the second time frame, that's consolidation, that's still a doji. Now, again, guys, this is information you guys can go over, which actually we'll be able to use this too, because there is, where is it at? Can we go down? Oh, right there, right there. There we go. There we go. So, guys, the one thing I like about this website is that gives you the definitions. I've seen the Candlestick Bible, but it doesn't give you a clear definition like this. Now, guys, you can't just look at this and be like, okay, every time I see this, I'm gonna jump in the market. You have to be able to back test and find what has happened. If the market, if you back test and see that, okay, evening star was formed or something like that, or a morning star was formed, and the market, no matter what it looks like, and the market sold from that position or bought from that position, that pattern was true. Doesn't matter how it looks. So stop trying to find, if you are, because that's something that I struggle with. Stop trying to find the pattern that looks exactly like the illustration. You have to keep your eyes open, and if it starts giving you the representation, it's like, wow, man, this thing looks like an evening star, yo. If it came into your head, now you just need to find a retest, wait for the closure, find a retest, things like that, man. But you know, you guys can go on this website at your own leisure. If Nisha want to touch on some things, but I based off of stuff that she uses within these candlestick patterns, she can, guys. But literally limitless information. You know what I'm saying? That you guys got at your disposal. And what I want you guys to do when you use this is identify this and then find it in the market. You know what I'm saying? But don't be the person to try to rush like, oh man, I think I found the thing. No, man, scale out. Okay, I saw this on the 15-minute. Now, what is it showing me on the 30 or 45? Am I still seeing, if I identified a dragonfly doji, that's a bullish move. Am I seeing a representation of the market getting bullish and these candles forming on a higher time frame? You see what I'm saying, guys? Oh, excuse me. So if you guys want to use this, I definitely recommend it. You know, we can go over this all day, but the biggest thing we want to show you guys is a representation of stuff that we see in the market that is showing you based off of what we just went over today, guys, right? So if you guys use this, you'll be able to identify this within the market anytime. I'm gonna even show you guys one based off of the market that I was looking at today, and we're gonna look at a live market, right? I mean, of course, we're gonna look at a live market. Every market is live. But what I
Why
mean
you
is
share
that,
yours?
say that again.
I'm just saying why you share yours. I'm gonna be looking for some examples too.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's perfect. All right, let me close up out of this. Oh, that's $1. Why does that look like that? Oh my gosh, you son of you faked the hell out of me. Whatever.
Don't tell me you got her, UJ.
I got out of, no, I had another position
Oh,
that I wanted to stay in because it was a higher lot size, and but nah, man, like I have UJ going like dumb. This was the exact trade I was gonna give out to you guys. I'm sorry. Because you see it clearly did like, so anyway, we're not gonna worry about it because guys, we still may have a potential opportunity. This is still resistance right here. If you see, there's resistance. So price could be giving buyers this perception and then drive this thing down hard to clear out the buyers and then push it up. Trap buyers or trap sellers in a position and then push up. But doesn't matter, guys. We're not worried about that right now. What we are worried about is identifying certain things within the market where that can help us perceive like what's going on. Let's actually get this off based off of just a little bit what we learned. So if you guys hear me identify something with the website Nisha just dropped in the chat, Just see if you can find that on the website sheet that, for example, Morning Star right here, guys. Like it's just right there for you. Morning Star. Look at that. Right here. Does that not represent what you would guys would see on the Morning Star that we just saw? Is that not a doji? Open, open, close. Tight window, right? Doji, doji, doji. So let's stop looking for. I mean, it'd be great if we got it, but I had to learn real fast, guys. Let's stop looking for the dojis. That's like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about trying to get that. That's what this is on a lower time frame. On a lower time frame. But what I wanted to show you guys was pretty much what I started off with this morning. You guys backtrace to pretty much this morning. I don't know what time that was when I was talking that. Somebody pull it up in the chat. Hold on, let me see. What time was that? I don't even remember, dude. I'll be lost. I'll just be up, man. What time was that? Oh yeah, right. Duh, right at opening bell, right around opening bell, right? So what time was this? 9:42, right? I was already in 9:42. What part am I looking at? All right, so 9:42. What time frame was that? Is that the 15 minute? I can't see my time frame. Oh, that's the 1 minute. That's why. All right, hopefully I can get all this with this market moving up here like that. Man, UJ, why did you just leave me? She might be out of there, guys. I mean, she's not out of there. We know how to re-enter. I'm just saying, like, out the ballpark. What was your entry, Nay?
Hold on, give me a second.
Man, you sound like Marley, dude. Y'all don't know where y'all be entering.
Sure, I had a few entries.
Okay, all right. Few entries. Y'all hear that?
I had one at 127,620. And I have another one. I closed this one. This was earlier. This was at 128,302, and that one hit TP for me. So I had a few entries. I was looking at UJ like
128.
Stop, Chris. Huh?
I thought you got in earlier this morning.
Yeah, like I said, I traded UJ since earlier this week too. Stop.
What was your position from this morning?
My position from this morning is at 127,6. I'll put my glasses on. 127,690.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got, what time was that? Oh, you got in around like 12 or like 11.
Yeah.
Not consolidation, but no, that was a good move because I was right there. But guys, this was the area, because what I wanted to, I brought up Janae, guys, because even though I didn't get the chance to throw out, the idea, you guys could have been formulating your own, confirmations based off of what I was throwing out. I was throwing out like a list of things, and it's like you had to be able to understand, and you guys could have taken the trade like, wow, man, like he's throwing out confirmation after confirmation. It didn't even have to deal with what the dollar was doing. I was more focused on what the technicals of price action was showing me with UTech. So right around here was where I first started noticing, like, man, this thing is, this is in a support zone that I trust myself, right? But if you look to the left, it is in a support zone. Like, like there's nothing like secret about it. It's in a support zone. And what do we know as support zones? Price may potentially buy up from there if the momentum is not strong. Now, obviously I applied my fundamentals. That's why I was telling you guys that, hey man, I believe the dollar did tank this morning, but it tanked in order to buy up. And based off of what I was seeing that investors and analysts were saying is that they're just slowing down inflation, but it's not stopping. So to me, anything against anything dealing with the dollar is going to get, price. If the dollar's in front, it's going to get bullish. If price is behind, it's going to get bearish. Now, obviously, we know that we have to wait. So I know Janae mentioned the other day about jumping in UJ and actually, taking the L. We have to wait for these moves in the market to unfold. This is just confirmation to at least say, really, when we identified the buy yesterday, because it did sell off aggressively, the buy was confirmation to say, hey, this market is starting to exhaust in a selling position, right? And it drove the market down. I've seen that, especially with the pattern that we identified, which was the falling wedge. Normally, the falling wedge is not a reversal pattern. It's just a pattern to give you a potential buy move, which is pretty much like we represented with that bullish engulfing in order to sell down stronger, right? So consolidation. Normally, guys, consolidation represents two things. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I don't need that. It represents two things. It represents pretty much, wow, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, it represents the banks wanting to enter the market, and it represents, or the banks entering the market, creating an order block, or it represents price potentially reversing. Now, consolidation is not a reversal pattern. But you can identify like, man, this thing is struggling to go down or struggling to go up, that it could be reversing, guys. And it normally is when it's some type of consolidation, and it's going to be on a higher time frame, because how is it going to be represented? With some type of doji. So I first identified this, like, man, if it's selling, I would have thought that this would have been the move to sell up, right? I got this move. I think this is when I really started talking to you guys after I saw this move. So I saw this move, right? Now I'm gonna bring something to you guys' attention where it's like, this is where it's like, as a trader, both people can be right and both people can make money, but it's like, who's right the longest? And it's not necessarily about who's right, but what are you with the trend, or are you trading against it? If you're just looking for moves in the market, then you're probably trading against it naturally, you know what I'm saying? But if you're looking for positions in the market, you're trying to stay with the trend, right? So I identified this consolidation. When I let you guys know, I spotted another pattern that we just discussed, an evening star, right? Now, some people may be like, well, if it's bullish, how do I take the sell? Again, what time frame are you looking at? Again, shout out to Daryl, because I know he's somebody who hones on the 1 minute. If you don't think you can enter on the 1 minute and make some money in this market, you're crazy. Because again, for the soccer mom, for the person who's busy, you might not be able to stay in the market like everybody else. Well, become just like a super scalper and hone down on these smaller time frames, because again, everything we see happen on the smaller is a representation of the bigger time frame too. So everything still remains the same. If I identify morning star or evening star on the daily, I can identify it on the 1 minute and it still represent. Hell, we can probably identify it on the 1 second and be in the market before everybody. You know what I'm saying? Which I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. I think that'll be a dangerous style of trading. But again, right here, guys, if you look at it, evening star. Now, the important thing for everybody to understand when we're identifying these patterns or identifying these candles is, did the market sell, guys? From this position, why am I saying bearish? So from this position, did the market sell? Yes or yes? Now, if you're confused about what the evening star is that I'm trying to capture, I'm about to make it to where you guys can see. Just ignore this candle right here, but it's this bearish move, this doji right here, and this bullish move. Are y'all seeing that? Can everybody see that clearly? Let's make it red since. Now, this is the 1 minute time frame. What I want to show you guys is, if you don't know how to use this tool, or you're still confused about measuring pips, which it's really basic math, use this tool right here. Now, I'm lazy. I use this tool all the time, guys. I even use the measurement tool that we have on MetaTrader 4, which is like an arrow, and it represents the same thing. So right here, the ruler literally says measure. So I want to see. Now, obviously, it's rare that you're going to be the person that ends up here, but sometimes you will be the person that, so let's say this was the day that you were that person that caught it all the way up here for some strange reason, right? The market ain't even going to let you get in all the way up here, but you'll be like right here, right? See how many pips that was, or the market reverse. What did I say? If you're only looking for 25, 30 pips, would that not have been a good move? Even though we can clearly see at this point that the market was trending up, right? Could that not have been a position that somebody could have taken if they know they had to be at work? What is this, 9:30? They got to be at work at 10. I don't know what time work starts, 10. Maybe people are coming in at 10, 11. And you're like, man, I don't have time to be in this market forever, but I just need to, I'm itching. I know what I'm doing, but, and I know I can't stay like everybody else all day in this market, but I want to be able to catch something. Would that not have been a pretty decent move to make if I'm only looking for 30, 33 pips, 25, something like that, especially if I'm somebody that trades like I mean business, yo. Definitely shout out to people like Paris. Definitely shout out to Yanni. You know what I'm saying? Some of these traders out there that I see, like I mean business when I enter this market. Shout out to Queen. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean business when I enter this market. So if I mean business, and I'm not trying to, excuse my French, fuck around in this market to lose a lot of money, identifying this could have put me. And guess what? Even if I missed it from the top, this is how you guys got to spot, man. This is where you start tying in everything we're learning together. Even if I missed it at the top, that I have not gotten in the trade right here. Okay, say that you didn't catch that. Let's see how many pips a potential stop loss could have been. Remember, you don't have all the time in the world, so it's either I make the money or I don't. So I'll respect the conditions of the market that the market gives me. I may put my stop up here, you know what I'm saying? Or I may put my stop just directly right here because it's like, okay, I see it went to 786, you know what I'm saying? 4 pips. You know what your ratio would have been? You would have definitely made well over, you know, like $20, $30 because your risk to reward would have been super small. So if you guys didn't know a tip, when your risk to reward is like when your gains are extremely greater than what you would lose, the market actually pays you for that a little bit more. So me and Nisha could enter the same trade, but her risk can be tighter than mine, but her gains equal to mine. She'll make more money than me, even entering at the same time and at the same lot size. Something that you guys may have not known, man. Tip. Cash at me for that. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. But guys, right here, a move. Too easy, right? Too easy. So I identified this, right? For me, when I identify patterns like this or a candle like this, what I'm looking for is like, okay, now I have my selling position to an area I could potentially buy from or sell from. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm identifying this isn't to say that, oh man, because you see that price clearly reversed. After we identified that, where was that at? My bad, guys. This thing, man, that's why I need like multiple screens now. It's getting ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So that selling position, I could have pretty much, I formulated this. I was pretty much, I mean, not the selling position. The buy position is where I started creating my analysis for you guys. I entered like somewhere down here, and that made me confident that, okay, once we get another retest, price will push up. I even could have told you guys to get in from there, but you know, we missed it. But still, if you were still listening. So for me, guys, I needed to identify a pattern that was going to push the market down in my favor for me to be comfortable saying that, okay, price is going to actually be bullish. Let me go to, so even if we look on the 15-minute, right? From that position, that move was pretty much this candle right here, right? That move was this candle. And then from here, it's just, okay, is the market actually rising up? Even when you look at the wicks, guys, it's still showing you pretty much an uptrend. Like it's showing you higher lows, right? Is it not? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. That's crazy, right? People don't pay attention to stuff like that, right? Now, again, it could show you this, and if the trend was strong and in the selling direction, guys, take you out very easy. But again, I was scaled down, so I'm seeing what these candles look like on a smaller time frame. Now, the important thing was when I let you guys know, hey man, this is what I think it is, right? At this time, opening bell was pretty much opening. I mean, yeah, opening bell had just started. So when I identified that this may be a potential bank move, now by the time we got this move right here, guys, if you look at it, remember when I showed you guys this candle was bullish, right? It was super bullish, but that wasn't the time knowing that opening bell was still going on for you to enter. You had to wait on a pullback, guys. And again, if we just add our handy dandy measuring tool, why won't it let me click on it? Anyway. High to low of that entire candle, I would have saw that, oh, wow, man, I could have got in at least 618. It closed above 786, which is good on the time frame that I'm looking at it to represent. You know what I'm saying? I would have been good. So even if I missed it from here, perfect 618 entry, which pretty much was the position that I was trying to give you guys from this movement, guys. Again, you're watching to make sure price doesn't, as it starts giving you more data, this move right here, like guys, there's so many confirmations that you can identify. Like it would be ridiculous at that point. How many of you guys have seen this move before, right? Like when you just see those candles. Let me kind of clean this up a little. Do y'all even know what this candle is? Is Santana on? If Santana's on, she'll know what. So this is called like the 3 white knights or something like that, or 3 kings. I think this one is called 3 kings. And this is on a 30-minute time frame, which is a pretty okay, moderate time frame, guys. This pattern alone right here represents bullish move, and it responded in kind because price obviously took off from there, guys. So there's so many confirmations you can spot, but you have to, one, hone down in. You have to know that, okay, when I'm seeing these candles, I shouldn't be triggered. So what most people do is that they don't scale down on the smaller time frame, guys. So when these moves are happening, it's super aggressive. So if you're already in profit, you're getting nervous by what's going on because you're not scaling down, because all you see is that probably when you saw this move, it was probably showing you like almost like it wanted to sell, or from this point it wanted to sell, right? Started off opening low because it's bullish move, so it's going to keep opening low to keep pushing the market pretty much up and up, guys. So some people get a little frantic and like raffled because they're pretty much like looking at the market, not understanding I can wait for a candle to close. As long as it's not like back at my position, I can wait for a candle to close. Or multiple times I could have got in. If I'm unsure, I could have got out, wait for a candle to close, got back in, got out, wait for a candle to close, got back in. If that's the way you want to go about it, if you're still not understanding how these candles are closing. But it's very important, guys. Just with this is purely technicals. Even if I didn't establish like fundamentals, purely with technical, purely with technicals, guys, you would have been able to identify, okay, this was a potential bullish move. Everything is not certain. Even when we think we see it, it's still not sure. But man, how many confirmations you need before you pull the trigger? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys, like too easy, right? But this was pretty much the pattern that I found that allowed me to pretty much get in this trade and still be in it all the way up here, guys. So if you look at that, I think from that position, that was like 70 pips. Let's see where it's currently at right now. 91 pips. Man, I really wish I would have stayed in that other position. But guys, again, what have we been practicing? Break, retest. One thing that I want to be able to spot is that, okay, we have a resistance zone. Now do we have the potential for the market to pretty much return back to the zone? We definitely do. Want to know why? Because we have right here in front of us, we have an evening star. What do we know about evening star? I mean, not evening stars, a morning star. What do we know about morning star? Price at least retest 50% of the morning star or the move that the morning star created, right? I generally like to go 50% of the morning star, but at the same time, what if the market momentum is too high, right? So let's in theory say that the market is like right here, right? And we need 50% back from this bullish move since the morning star started. If you look, guys, again, previous high and low. Now I'm kind of getting off topic with this because it makes sense once you've identified a candle to apply the basic stuff we know within the market, right? If you look right here, guys, now 50%, if you look at where 50% is now, this hasn't closed yet. So I'm just doing this as if price closed. So we can say that price closed right here, right? Just because we got a high and a low, right? Look where 50% is about. Now, some of you are probably like, well, Anton, what are you even trying to show right there? Well, let me show you guys what 50% represents. Just looking at this market, if we were to get a pullback, now it's obviously probably not going to pull back here, but in theory, if we're looking for 50%, this represents a previous high. This represents a previous high. It's crazy how, and the high is crossing into our resistance zone. It's crazy how this represents highs in the market, and I could potentially have an entry 50%. And I don't even have the full data yet, but just knowing that these are previous highs, I potentially have a move if I miss this move right here, like from this position, if I missed to re-enter the market and take the market back up. You see what I'm saying, guys? But you have to think ahead of the market, but be in preparation for it. Not think ahead like trying to outsmart the market, but like, okay, that's a possibility. So if it's a possibility, I need to have an alert there. And then when I get the alert, I can survey the market and see what's going on. But I could only identify, well, I wouldn't say I could only, but if I only knew candles, or candlestick patterns, the first thing my logic would tell me is that, man, this is a morning star right here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what I know about a morning star, even if I don't know, let me go and look up the definition. Well, let me apply the basics in the market. Well, Antoine said, or Anisha said, or YouTube said, or whoever I'm listening to said, the market should retrace about 38 to 50% of a previous move of a candle, whatever. It doesn't matter. It has to be 50% somewhere, could retrace deeper. Well, we know that the logic is if it breaks out of a previous high, if it breaks below a previous low, it should return there to continue the market in that direction that it's trying to go. Wow, man, this would be a breakout. And obviously, when we scale down, we'll see that it's representing candles in the market, guys. We'll be like, wow, man, that is crazy. It's going to be so on point. And I'm not saying this is going to happen true. I would love to say like, yeah, guys, enter 50% here and we just ride this thing sky high. We want further confirmation because it can dive deeper. And what you think is 50% could not be the actual 50%. You know what I'm saying? But at least we have a zone to say, the market may return here. And if it does, say I'm sleeping. You know how many times, guys, when I first started trading, I woke up and the market was at a position that I drew up, didn't even have an alert, just had a position that I drew up. And I took the trade just because it was there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even paying attention to the trade. I was just siphoning. This is when I didn't really have pairs. And I'm just like, what's the market giving me? NZD USD. It's like London. I'm waking up like 3 a.m. It's London, and I got a position. I was like, I mean, they say break and retest, right? With minimum knowledge at that time, guys. But because I already had it there, it was easy to find out, man. But guys, I'm gonna start looking at stuff for us to throw out. I want Nisha to I know she's been doing her own research for the live market right now, guys. Kind of tap into what she's been looking at, things that she identifies as well. Because again, guys, this doesn't differentiate between like traders. Just because she, is heavy aggressive on Nas doesn't mean that she identifies stuff way different than me. Now, yeah, her approach may be different, but she's still using the same knowledge as far as like identifying candles, making the conscious effort of what the trend is, guys, finding her 50% or her 618, things like that, all the same thing. So for you guys that are thinking that, because we used to have this logic that you have to trade certain pairs different, which is true, but the concept of the fundamentals is the same. So you may have to have a different approach to that currency pair, but the knowledge that you learn with foreign exchange, with FX pairs, or indices or metals, it's universal, guys. I mean, we can even use this shit in the stock market. I'm telling you, I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So guys, I'm gonna let Nisha have it, and then we'll look at some possible trade ideas, guys, before we end this week. But I think overall it's been started off kind of rocky, but I think overall it's been a good week, guys. So I think we're about to close out strong. So let's get it in, man. But Nisha, it's all yours. Just let me know.
Yeah. First, can we drop some flames in the chat for Antoine? My goodness. Like, I feel like sometimes what he be talking like, dang, I don't know nothing. But no, like he said, as a trader, you just kind of look at the market differently. But this is why it's good to have, yes, Nay, really deep. It's good to have conversation because you always remain a student. So, and it's crazy. I was just telling this to Antoine. Transparency moment. I have to continue to learn as well, right? You can't get comfortable just because you might have made some money in the market. That doesn't make you a trader per se, but being consistent with the education and really developing the eye is what really helps. So I'm not going to be long because I really want to be able to find some setups, but what I've been looking at while Antoine's been talking, I've been listening as well. It kind of gave me a light bulb moment with NASDAQ. So you guys know I trade NAS, which is our stock market. NASDAQ is specifically our techs. So pretty much tech companies in retail, I realized this past week, heavily affects this space. So like Antoine said, where do I want to start? With NASDAQ, the fear behind it, quote unquote, is really just the volatility, right? It moves price, it respects price action. The things that you guys were just going over, we can look at in this particular market. It's counted differently and it just moves fast. So it's just more so once you find a comfortability, but please don't be scared to really get into or even practice this, marking it up or practice it in your demo, because it's not something where, I gotta be a good trader to look at it. Do not minimize yourself. Do not put yourself in a box. And I have to realize that as well. Like I'm really addicted to this for NASDAQ. So I had to make sure, like, Wanisha, don't forget about the Forex pairs. But anywho, my point is, don't be afraid of this space because some of the same things that Antoine has been pointing out applies to this as well. The only thing I would say is that when you're doing indices, so NASDAQ, SPY, the Dow, fundamentals can play a heavy role. So for the most part, the technicals, I should say, and price action are respected, but news and our economy plays an important role and will sometimes take you off your game if you're not prepared in both spaces. So, but honestly, you could still really win with NASDAQ. So I just seen another example actually. So I'll start with the first example really from today. Today was kind of really choppy in the market. It consolidated a lot. Today didn't really give us big movement. However, what do y'all see? Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. And it's not just one thing. It's a couple things that you probably can point out that I probably don't see. But somebody just, and it's no right or wrong, guys. But just tell me what you see. Just looking at what I have right here. Let me look at the chat. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anything else we gotta see? All right. So okay. Ooh, good, Maya. Good. There's one more thing I see in there. And specific to the candles, Antoine touched on a little bit. Not necessarily a pattern. Well, I guess you can consider it a pattern if you want to. Yes, yes, Destiny, bearish engulfing, big one, right? So we have this is your textbook doji, the one that Antoine tells y'all don't necessarily look for all the time. The body can be fatter than this, but this is a beautiful textbook doji. And this is where we want you guys to practice using multiple confirmations. And the reason I told you guys just to tell me what you see, because it's not just one thing, guys. So just like today, how Antoine he put out 3 UJ charts, but each one showed something different that supported his bias. So you guys pointed out the doji. Maya pointed out a double bottom, right? I don't know. Is anybody here don't know what a double bottom indicates or means or what that is? Let me know, because we need to break that down. And you guys also shared bearish engulfing. So these are all things that support what's actually happening. So we're seeing a reversal. We have our doji. We see the double bottom that supports our reversal. Now, with the bearish engulfing, which you can also kind of consider somewhat of what we call the order block, right? We had a strong push down. So that's one thing to remember or to think about. When we see candles like this, the market, I'm more than sure is not done. So just to let you guys know, NASDAQ will be breaking this support next week, I believe. But when you see, for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, when you see an engulfing candle like this, NASDAQ is one of those where, yes, we could be pushing down. It may not retest, but if you're looking at your Forex pairs, and I'm just doing this on a bigger time frame right now, so don't really pay attention to the daily. I just like how this looks really cute and big, okay? So this is the candle that's being engulfed. A lot of the time you may see, right, price retest to that open, right, the bottom of that candle, or at least to the 50%, right, up in here, right, minimum. But then you also want to be able to use, and let me delete all this stuff, where your support and resistances, that's one thing NASDAQ does respect really good for sure. Now, what I did also earlier while Antoine's on the call was I measured this doji. And mind you guys, the daily candles for NASDAQ is based off the open and close of the stock market, not necessarily the opening and close of the actual day. So that's why we're on a new daily candle, because we're in pre-market hours. All right. So I measured the doji, and today was, again, I didn't really care for today's market because it was just so blah. But, and this is another example I'm gonna show you. That's why I have that here. But even in this space, because I pretty much measured from here to here, the low to the high. And the way that Antoine shows you guys how to measure candles, I pointed this out on Tuesday, is another way to measure swings, right? Which is, I don't want to say that's what fibs are made for. It's really made for just percentage movement. So you can do percentage movement in candles. You can do percentage movement in swings. So from that low of that doji to the high of the doji, we see that price pretty much gave us, for the most part, remember, these areas are zones. So don't be that person who's like, oh my gosh, it did not touch the pink line. Like, don't be that person. But for the most part, right, we had this move here from here to the top, and it gave us a percentage drawdown of at least what? The 618. That's what this pink line is. And now we've continued to push forward. I'm anticipating minimum, and look, we've got it engulfing here. So minimum, this area, even if I took this, there's so many things you can do in this space, guys. So many, right? I just measured this candle right here, and I drew an area of where price could come to, which matches all these wicks in this area anyway, right? So that's another way. Now, one thing I wasn't doing, guys, which I may start trying to do, again, you would have to when you're talking about measuring candlesticks, getting in on the 1 minute, 5 minute, you have to identify what kind of trader you are. Okay. So if you're trying to trade on the fly, maybe you're at work, the 1 minute may not be, it could be a good entry if you catch it. But honestly, price is changing every 1 minute. So you have to decide, am I a scalper or am I trying to get a good position to ride so many pips? Am I just trying to get in and get out for 20 pips and dip, which can happen in like 5 minutes? Or I'm like, I just need a good entry and I'm just going to put my stop loss and let it ride, because you can get a good entry on a 1 minute. But if you don't have that availability to do so, don't beat yourself up. You can still use like the 15-minute, 30-minute, hour. However, what Antoine was pointing out earlier, I was like, whoa, the 1 minute, I think this is, I tried to highlight it so I wouldn't lose it. I hope I did not lose it, because there's an area, I think this was it actually. All right. So what do you guys see in my shaded box? Anything in particular? And matter of fact, let me go back here real quick, right? Because transparency, I know the basic candlestick patterns, but I was never somebody big on candlestick patterns. I didn't really care. I'm your support and resistance girl. Call me S&R Ronnie, because I'm a preach support and resistance all day, every day, because you really could just trade off of that. But I'm just come here, right? If anything stands out to you. And when I specifically, is that what I'm looking for? Hold on, let me make sure I'm actually showing y'all what I'm trying to point out. I don't think that's what I was looking for, but we'll take it anyway. Let me see what y'all got. Evening Star. Look at you, look at you, look at you. Yes, that would be considered. It was something else I really was looking for on a 1 minute, but that'll work too. I want to say we're gonna find it. Don't worry, y'all, because there's a couple examples. I was like, dang. But imagine, right? You saw this, or it's really, this is considered when we come back and look over here, your inverted hammer on, because it's the bullish inverted hammer. But even if I saw this on the 1 minute, guys, if I saw this on the 1 minute, we got a good push up, this 1 minute candle right here. And matter of fact, let me change this shade color because this is like, it's distracting me. So let me lighten it a little bit. All right, that's good. If we've taken the trade, if we caught this next candle right here, even if you waited for this next candle just to verify, right, the evening star pattern, if we took that, even if we took it on this next trade here and took it down till we saw some reversal, and we probably wouldn't see the reversal probably until here when it started to break the previous candle. So in approximately 12 minutes, you would have made 621 pips, which is $62 on a 0.01. On a 0.02 times 62 times 2. If I would have put a 0.1 on this in 12 minutes, I would have made $620. Even off of 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy off of, and when I say that, guys, just to be mindful, let me type this out. So, because you're saying like 600, what? 600 pips. So if you don't trade NASDAQ, 1 point equals 10 pips. Okay. So technically a 0.1, if you would have moved 1 pip, 1 point. So if you went from 1 to 2 on NASDAQ, you've really moved 1 point, which is really moving 10 pips. So a 0.01 with 1 point in NASDAQ is really $1. Okay. So when somebody says NASDAQ, like the other day, pushed like 700 points. points, 700 points. Points. I think they said it was like the biggest drop since 2020. And 2020 was a pandemic. 700 points. Jesus. Like, let me say it again. 700 points. How many pips is that, guys? Like, what? How many pips is 700 points? Destiny said $1 million. To somebody it was. I'm not ready.
So
You're not ready because
7,000?
you're saying, huh?
That's 7,000?
Back 7,000 pips, bro, yesterday. On some, when NASDAQ was tanking like that after those retail news came out, this whole drop here, like insane. And
You know what I'm so mad about? Not to distract you.
yeah.
Is that since the beginning of this year, I had indices falling. I used to have a markup for it. And there was a trade, I think I showed you guys, I don't know, a while ago. I could have held like Nas and still been in it today with no repercussions of drawback. And I'm so mad because I was like, bro, this market is going to literally turn over this year. I don't know what made me believe that, but just looking at technical analysis, and I could have had it like at the top. You talking about the top, Nisha?
Oh, Antoine, I believe you, because not only was this supposed to be my entry, but this double top of, oh my gosh, we could, guys, if we could have all been on a yacht by now.
If was a fifth, we all be drunk. You know what I mean?
Right. If I just would have trusted my trade, we could have all been on a yacht right now, all taken care of, expenses paid for. It's okay. It's still coming. It's just I missed that one. We're gonna catch the next one. But no, I get it, bro. Like that's why I say like don't and ignore all my colors and lines. Let's get back to where I was. Don't allow, and that's why I was telling Nate, you're not ready because you keep saying you're not ready. You're not ready or you're afraid because you keep psyching yourself out. If I never said, if people didn't talk about indices and NASDAQ the way they did, you probably would not be afraid to get into the market, right? You would probably get in kind of like when being afraid to swim. Somebody's going to throw you in the deep end and you're going to figure it out, right? You probably would have realized, whoa, my money either went up quick or went down quick. And then you may want to actually figure it out. So don't be afraid of this space. You don't have to trade your real money, but I actually challenge you all to get comfortable and not, when we say be careful of indices, it's just more so if you're not ready to put your real money in, but don't neglect it because you feel like you don't have the capital. Because on KOT, I'm telling y'all this, do I suggest it? Only if you've been practicing, but on KOT, $80, you got to get a good position though. Not too much drawdown, right? Because I don't think you can go below like 40. Once you get to $40, it's going to kick you out. But $100, you catching, I'm just saying. So like, use your same concepts, guys. And I don't want to go into a rant because I'm gonna get back to what I'm saying. I just
Also, Nisha,
Uh-huh.
also since you brought up KOT, there is a way for people to trade Nas, but still don't get the leverage. They could just use the minis. I don't know if you've ever promoted that, but
no, I never tried that actually.
So the minis are at a lower contract size. So it's almost like how we can jump in with cryptocurrency with like a little bit of income.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Nas Mini and S&P Mini. So you guys, if you are looking to one day start trading regular Nas, you can still get in and benefit by making the money. You just have to up your lot size, do the math from there. But yeah, that's been something that I've been using, guys, to practice because I don't want to necessarily, I know what Nas can do. I done seen bad days for people, yo. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to still trade it and get the momentum and volatility of it, like, yeah, I've made that's what I was in. If I would have, kept holding, I could have just jumped in with higher lot sizes and, you know what I'm saying, guys? So there's ways if you guys just do your research and look at what's going on. So the minis, you guys, if Nisha is throwing out a trade and it's like, man, I don't have 500, 200, you have 150 or $100 or $50, you can jump. I wouldn't recommend 50, like 75 or higher. You can jump in the mini if she gives you, because it's the same thing, guys. It's just, you know, spread might be off
Hey,
slightly.
Antoine, what is a mini?
So mini is at a smaller contract size, right? So KOT offers things like pros, variables, mini. So that's for a lot of the indexes out there where you would get in on, you have the professional side, which is like the pros, and then the ones that's not labeled. So when you see Nas, it's just labeled as Nas. And then you got Nas mini and S&P mini, and you guys can trade those because they're at a lower contract size. So somebody who has $100 can actually get into Nas. Now you won't have how niches, you know, trades be looking. It will not look like that. But if you're somebody that's trying to gear in and practice Nas and still make money with it, don't get me wrong, you know what to do in the market, guys. You can up your lot size and have a heyday with it. You just won't see it like how niche is seeing it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that'll get people in prep phase, because it's like, okay, I know how the momentum and volatility of Nas move or S&P moves. So the only thing I have to understand is like, I need more money, or I'm risking more money when I'm actually, you know, using regular Nas or S&P versus the mini.
And also realize how I was saying a 0.01, the way I trade is equal to $1. Basically, the mini with what he's saying is your 0.01 is just how you would trade FX pairs. So 0.01 is 10 cent, right? So, but if you call 100 pips on 10 cent, that's you made $10 pretty quickly, where most pairs it may take a little bit longer for a 100 pip move. You're gonna get 100 pips in like 2 minutes in NAS. You see what I'm saying? So you can still benefit, but you will have more free margin, right? Your free margin won't get ate up with the bigger lot size. I mean, not the bigger lot size, the bigger contract. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I want to get that set up, but that can be on another call. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Antoine, but I never looked for that. So that's actually a great point. So one other thing I'll point out, guys, and then I'll go over one more thing, and I'm gonna give it back to Antoine, because again, I just want to keep it simple. But even measuring this candle, so we're talking about candlesticks and percentage movement. If I measured this bearish candle, so not the green, not the bullish one, but the bearish engulfing one right here, and just kind of what Antoine's been discussing, our 50% is here at my green line, right? So if I were to draw a zone here, my 50% of this, and mind you, I'm measuring this candle. So I measure from the top to the bottom. You want to measure in the direction. So if this is a bearish candle, meaning it's a candle moving down, you want to start at the top of the candle and measure from the open to the close, okay? And so when I do that, I take it off and I say, let's say, you know what, I'm gonna practice Antoine's 50% move. I want it to at least pull back minimum 50%. When we're on a daily now, I just measured the daily candle. So when we drop, I'll go even go down to the hour. When we drop down to the hour time frame, okay. When we drop down to our time frame, look what it points out. What do you tell me what you guys see? And I'm not necessarily looking for anything particular in regards to candle, like just whatever you, based off what I just drew, what do you see? Because all I did was break the time down. It's still the same daily candle. I just broke it down. Let me see. Imbalance. Okay. Anybody else? And I want you to go based off of price action and structure, which you can look at imbalance too, but like simple, y'all remember I told y'all to call me your S&R chick. Yeah. Look, y'all, don't literally, you gotta reprice for what it gives you. You really do. Look at this. Look. Support. support, break. Have we returned to this area yet? Have we returned to the area yet? Have we returned to this support? Now, am I saying it will? No, but based off of everything I just broke down, let's say I'm just charting up. I'm saying, okay, I see a doji. I see a bearish engulfing that hasn't really been tested yet. I see a double bottom. I see upward momentum. I see a structure where we have broken and we have not tested yet on any time frame. I could probably go down to the 15-minute. Yeah, we literally just blew past this, like blew. And then, what else could I possibly draw? Let's see. Let me go to. So you guys see how you compile? Now that doesn't mean, hey, I think it's a buy. Let me make up some stuff to help support what I'm saying. I'm literally going based off what I see. Now, if I'm getting, confirmation for both, maybe it's not time to look for an entry. You can't force a trade. But based off of the things that me and Antoine are teaching you, between some of the basic concepts, don't overcomplicate it. The measuring candlesticks, understanding candlesticks, right? Wicks, support and resistance. You're probably right. And it's just now you're building your confidence, right? One last thing I point out. When I say support and resistance, you really guys can take what you're doing in FX. When I say FX, I'm talking about Forex pairs, guys, okay? Doing with FX and literally look, support, resistance, break and retest, break and retest. We literally could bought this up multiple times. I don't like this type of trading with NASDAQ, but 1,800 pips. We'll go right here. 2,100 pips in 2 hours. All right. If you would have rolled it up from here to the next zone, 3,000 pips. Easy. Now let's break it down to the 5-minute. And again, these areas are zones, but just don't overcomplicate it just because it's NASDAQ. Right? So even if I wanted to ride this up for a little bit, this break and retest right here, 650 pips. That's a quick $65. But it broke back into my zone, retest, drip down, like went to hell. Let me show you. Break down through my structure, retest again. Now, one thing I would tell you, one last thing, I keep saying last thing, but I promise you it's the last thing for real. When you see an impulse move, do not try to catch it. Let it go. Because guess what it has to do? It's got to come back and grab you. GJ did it, UJ did it, NASDAQ does it as well. Please do not try to chase these moves. It'll come back, or you look for the next support or resistance. In this instance, on yesterday, it didn't do all that, but it created a trend. And I'm really not trying to go all over the place, guys, but this just goes to show you keep applying what you're learning. Is simple. So we had the break, the retest. I could have entered it on this 1-minute candle. I mean, this 5-minute candle right here and rolled it all the way down. Maybe I missed this move. This was the retest of, let me show y'all real quick. This literally created like such a beautiful trend. So pretty. Do y'all see what am I drawing? Like, do y'all see what's happening? Do anybody? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Like, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest, break, like literally I mean, are y'all understanding what I'm saying or seeing at least? Type a 2 in the chat if you see like, and if I would have put this up and never told you it was NASDAQ, you'd been ready to trade it. You would have been like, ooh. So practice again. And for real, this is the last thing for real. Antoine, I'll let you have it because it's 10:30. Do not be afraid, guys. If you really trying to take it to the level that me and Antoine are and really say, you know what, I set my family free because I stayed consistent. I set myself free because I never gave up. It's going to require you to do it scared. And the great thing about this is we don't have to use our own money, right? We can practice in our demo until we're comfortable, but stop being scared of the challenges because you'll forever be a student. There's going to be something new you don't know, but you won't know it until you get confident to learn it. So I challenge you all, don't be afraid, NASDAQ. I'm here to help. The only reason I don't give a lot of signals, well, one, it's very volatile right now with everything with inflation. So I just don't like the signal part of it. I would rather probably trade live per se. And then I just want to find a consistent rhythm and strategy where you guys can understand it. And it's not just like, okay, give me signals for money. Because I want you guys to be able to say, you know what? I can trade indices and I'm comfortable with that. Right. So I'm going to give it back to Antoine. I'm done for real. I just like talking about this stuff, guys. Anton is yours.
That's what's up, man, guys. Drop some flames in the chat for Nisha, guys, man. That's always a special treat when we get her talking, man, especially about these indices. But real quick, guys, because I don't want to keep y'all long. I just want to analyze. The market ain't really giving me much, but I was looking at a potential selling opportunity for USD JPY, right? Now, the reason why I was looking for, and it may do that now, I'm just kind of gauging the market. So the reason why I'm looking for a selling opportunity is because we have structure down here that I'm just not convinced, guys. I'm just not convinced that the market, tomorrow is Friday. This would be a great day for the market to say, you know what? F everything that I gave you guys out today, right? F everything that I gave you guys out today, right? Y'all see all that money? There's money below this, right? Once price created this wick, I was like, nah, no, sir, you won't get me with that. That's money right there, especially this oddball type candle. Now, yeah, if you were scalping, this would have been a great move up. But one, I had a position, man, I was going to say sell here. But look at this, guys. If you look at this across, this is 786. We're probably going to do that. Could retest, but this is 786 of this bearish move right here, guys. This is very important because when you scale back out, you can see that there's a level of structure pretty much to the left of it. Excuse me, right here. A previous low, even if you go to a line chart. Now, it doesn't have to be exact. We just at least know that there's a previous low correlating all the way around. Wow, look at that, guys. Telling you, this market just be doing some magical things sometimes, right? So with us seeing that, I do believe that the market is still bullish, but I don't think that it's ready to continue up. And I want us to be able to take this position if price, you know, responds the way we like. And then us be ready to buy tomorrow if we get this move. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're getting some bearish movement, but let's see. Let's see who's in the market right now. Consolidation. Let's see if we got, let's see what that MACD is showing us. All right, so we're about to head, if you look at the MACD, about to head to a position.
Hey, Antoine, can you zoom in your computer just a tad bit?
No.
Please.
I mean, that's the best like I could do. As far as like the MACD and stuff.
It just, everything looks like really squishy together. And I'm on my computer.
I got you. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I just did that. Oh well.
There we go. Thank you.
So again, selling positions, guys. If you just measure this, has it reached 50%? Absolutely not. Could come all the way back up here too. But you know, just gauge it. What have we found out right here, guys, right? What does this look like? This is on a 5-minute time frame. So once it gets around here, I'm about to sell USD JPY.
What price is that?
So really anywhere between 128, 140 to 128, 147. So one thing I want you guys to understand too, how many times you guys have seen like where you want to enter the market and it just takes off, right? So when I was showing you guys like how I'm marking up this fib, understand that each candle is still giving us that break and retest. So how Nisha literally just, excuse me, literally just showed you guys like on a higher time frame, like on a, but giving you the motion of price selling and then possibly returning. Well, it does the same thing on candles too, guys. You actually want it to. You actually want the market to dip and then do this. You know what I'm saying? So if you find yourself saying, oh man, I missed a position, and it may, you know, it may continue to bounce up here, but if you get a push down, look at the candle. Again, basic concept, guys. It has to retest. And it could push down a while, but we saw off of that, what time frame was that? 5 minute? No, 1 minute. We saw off that 1 minute, even though price sold down, which would have been a good move, you still had to retest. That came what? It really came 786, but pretty much 50%. When you look at it on like a 1 minute, you might as well say 50% because the difference in price is not that great. You know what I'm saying? So I would like it to come back up here, however it's going to go. But I'm looking at the market to be selling. Let's look at the currency heat wave too. Trade. Oh, let me look at the currency heat wave. See what the dollar may be doing. Dollar's weak right now. Oh, I like that even better. That put me in the trade. So I'm in the trade now, guys. I just did a sell limit. But again, when I'm looking at this, I'm surveying the market. I'm trying to see what's going on within this market, guys. So if we get a close, you know that price literally closed 786. If we get a push up, it might be pushing the retest. But again, we'll see, guys. I'm not trying to hold this thing for long because I do believe that the buy is greater. But when we just look at the overall move right here, price was 786 of the bearish move that I had. Over here, you guys obviously can't see it, right? But even if we went into this whole bearish move, let me drop this down. Even if we went into this whole bearish move right here, just from this bearish candle, if we measure this bearish candle, you can see that price came just about, 50% and closed below. It doesn't have to touch it, but if we get now what we're waiting on, if we believe that price is still in our direction, what we're waiting on is further confirmation that price is going to do what we want it to do. So I'm in this trade now, guys. So with us being in this trade, knowing that it could push higher, what you want is to start seeing price push down and close in a way that you would like to represent. So it closing below this, to me, that's a good sign immediately. Closing below 50% on the 2 hour, right? So closing below 50%. And then I start just siphoning through different time frames to figure out what's going on, especially smaller time frames going to tell me what that candle's doing on that time. I mean, what that candle's doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I scale down, I see, okay, do we have the possibility of price pushing down? Absolutely. One, we broke a level of resistance. Price loves to retest the area that it broke out, but wouldn't it love to retest an area that we're not paying attention to? You know what I'm saying? The average trader break retest. Oh man, this would be a perfect area to buy at, which it could. It could. It was a perfect area to buy at right here. But is the momentum still to this direction? I mean, for me, with this break and retest, we have structure to the left. To me, I would like to see it come down here and then us have our entry to see if price is going to carry on. Because again, we haven't had a candle pretty much resurface back here. See what I'm saying, guys? This is stuff that I say out loud to, you know, put me in a good position to get a pretty decent entry. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you do from there is just wait on, you know what I mean? So it looks like we got a break and retest, but I'm a still confirm, guys, because again, I like to see what the market is gonna do. I still think that this sell is valid though. Until if we get up here, I'm not messing with it no more. Somebody got a question?
Yeah, that was me. So I was just wondering if you saw like the overall directional bias of UJ. When I look on the hour and the 4 hour at the top, it kind of seems like a head and shoulders. I really feel like UJ is gonna like we're in the space now, that right shoulder, but I just feel like we're gonna break down. So, and then when I go back and look at the dollar, I feel like the dollar has more space to come down, honestly, as well. But I just wanted to see, like, I feel like we'll get the push up, but it'll come right back down. So I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that, the overall.
For UJ?
Mm-hmm.
So I drew this up while you guys. So I always give myself room for error. You know what I'm saying? Like I never established the market as like this is definitive. I take it because obviously I do believe that this is an area that I would like, but also I give myself potential zones where the market may climb higher. I already identified that the market may climb higher, but we're definitely around a time where the market could switch. But just seeing that it rejected that 786 that I showed you to the left-hand side, for me, that was good enough to say, I think, what time frame was that? Let me find it. For me, that was good enough to say, all right, I like that area because as you see, we're still in that 786. Now, how I was able to identify that 786 off that smaller time frame was, let me scale down. Pretty much like how you identify pretty much those potential order blocks. This was a level of resistance that the market could literally respect. You scale down all the way down to the 15-minute. See right here, you just move that up. So I saw that it rejected 786 and I like this area, the sell off, and I look to the left for structure. So I see potentially to move down, but I also see that we do have room for the market to actually spike up.
Gotcha.
I'm about to sell again, guys. Well, me personally, I just don't like how I see that wick. I just don't like how I see this wick right here. And we're around a time where people definitely get comfortable in the market. And the market just, you know, you're up so many pips. You're like, oh man, I'm good. And the market definitely just clears all this down here. Really, I could see it coming all the way down here, guys. Only reason why I'm so cautious on the market potentially flipping is that tomorrow's Friday. I know things happen. Let's actually look. Let me check new. I haven't even checked news. Let me see if there's anything news related that could possibly come out for Japanese yen or anything like that. Is that thing reversing on us? Was that a sniper entry? Don't tell me this is a sniper entry on a live call. And we had like 3 positions we could have got into. Only because I was about to be impatient. Tell me that ain't a sniper entry. Cannot make this up, man. I swear. That was a sniper entry. Are y'all seeing that? Are y'all seeing UJ right now?
I'm in right now.
And it was definitely sniper, pow, pow, pow.
Bro, stop playing with it, yo. Stop playing. I mean, we ain't done. We still need, further confirmation. But let me see if there's any news, because that would definitely be like, hold up, guys, red alert. Y'all know how this goes. That's what's up, man. All right, we got Japanese yen in 48 minutes. This could be the response. This is where now you could use Bloomberg throughout the day, guys. So like check to see. It's just super boring, like because nobody's really paying attention to the yen session. But if you are somebody who trades that, like Bloomberg, they're talking about the yen right now. Probably, I haven't been on them, but I know London session. They're definitely talking. I like London session. Kind of gives you a depth into what's gonna go on. But it's so hard staying up for London. I mean, guys, trading is gathering information for trading is already boring. So listening to people when you're already tired early in the morning, it's like, yeah, it's a struggle. So I really don't do Bloomberg early in the morning. But as far as Japanese yen, that's the only news. And the only thing, and if it is low impact. So it says 20-year JGP, JGB. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's their year of that's their 20-year yield bond. So like how we have the 10-year, 3-year, what is there? A 1 year? 10-year, 3-year, and the 30-year. I mean, 10-year, 30, and I think a 3-year. I think there's a 3 or a 5-year. Whatever. This is their yield. I'll look for more, but I mean, it's giving you pretty much a low impact generic information. And as far as I mean, hell, let's pull up the Japanese index. Hell, if we're confused, that should tell us something. And after this, you guys are good. Our target is 59. We're looking to get out somewhere here, guys, because I believe that the market probably is going to buy from TP1. So really, our market is probably going to push us down to TP1, and then that'll be our buy zone, all right? It could come all the way down. I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm going to definitely check news for Bloomberg early in the morning, because if it's going to push all the way back down to this support structure, opening bell or New York session just in general would definitely be the time frame that it wants to, giving people that false perception that it wants to take up here. But if the moment, based off of what we learned from the momentum, this should be TP1, which is 127,350. That should be around the area, which is good because it's giving you a macro number. It's close around 127, 225, 250. Those are bank numbers, guys. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, when I'm looking at this level of imbalance right here, I wouldn't be surprised if price pushed down within those numbers. But man, was that a sniper entry? Oh my gosh, why didn't I just slap it with like a stupid lot size just now? Like, just whatever. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'm gonna take what I can get, guys, because if we can catch the buy, that'll be great. But again, understand, don't get happy because it's like, oh man, we're making money. Understand why we're making money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to be on a call and, oh man, we sniper. Like, yeah, this is fantastic, guys. Like, I'm liking what's going on, but that's not the point. The point is us to establish why is this even happening compared to somebody who would have been like, why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see the difference, guys? You see the difference where it's like we're on the end like, okay, why is this happening? Because we're in profit. Somebody is either losing money or not getting out of their position because it's like, why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't identify there's a possibility. That's all you got to say, guys. Trading is not that perfect where it's like all you got to do is open yourself to like possibility, not for a scare tactic, but just to remain vigilant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a possibility with all these wicks that liquidity is somewhere down here, and we identify something. That is crazy with that entry. I'm just surprised that I did that. But anyway, there's something that price could come back to grab, just like Nisha mentioned, in order for us to be in a safe space. You know what I'm saying, guys? This will help you, even if you're like, I'm set on a buy. I'm not looking for no sell because I'm not trying to hedge the market. You know what I'm saying? That is absolutely fine, guys. This at least tells you, hey, you might want to take profit before it ends way down here. Or if you are in a buy and you got up a little bit too high, now I have a little bit of confirmation that price may be reversing, and I may just need to take the profit or, you know, get out of the trade so I don't lose anymore, guys. You have to be your own accountant in this. Nobody's going to tell you when to pull out your money, guys. I'm telling you, man, you have to be your own financial advisor, your own accountant. So yeah, when you see money, stop waiting for the TP1, stop waiting for the TP2. If you like what you like, take it out. Or if you've never seen it before, take it out. Or you're just happy to make money, take it out, guys. You see what market session it is, take it out. You know what I'm saying? You'll never hurt yourself taking it out. To be honest, if everybody grabbed all the money that they made in foreign exchange, guys, without trying to be greedy or without trying to hold it, literally they'll be walking millionaires. But because we are already systematically programmed, and that's just not how the human condition works, guys, we're never going to be those people. You know what I'm saying? Not millionaires, but the person that grabs the money because the need to see more is embedded in us. You know what I'm saying? We already messed that up since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like, they already messed that up for us, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because we deal with greed. Hell, if you're somebody who can't even stop going to fancy restaurants because you love it, that already tells you you're already like not destined for failure, but like that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, not going to the restaurant, but like you have greed within you. That's just the human condition. So how do we rid that, guys? There's really no way. We just have to understand that I can't get it all. When I see it, I just need to take it. So I'm loving what I'm seeing, guys. I do see the possibility again of this breaking low and then returning up here, probably pushing higher. So again, we have a target, but money's money. So if it decides to pull back a little bit earlier than we anticipated, then get out the trade, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. And that also opens opportunity if you're like, oh man, I think this thing may be selling or buying at a higher position than what we anticipated, or continuing to sell. Hell, if you identify as continuing to sell, things like that, guys. The DXY is going to help you establish that. I would say, because this is a previous high, that this would probably be your first position for you guys to look to get out. I'll actually throw this out for you guys. Understand, this is just our first retest on the 5-minute time frame. We don't know if there's a retest coming on a 30-minute, on an hour, things like that, guys. So if it clears this, I'm pretty confident, you know what I'm saying, that it's going to reach all the way down here. But we'll just have to survey. Again, this is USD JPY. Pretty slow, really no momentum going into 11 o'clock at night. And I know we had, I think we maxed out at 14. I appreciate all you guys staying on, man. I really value that. I don't say that for like no cap, man. So if you guys still here, I mean, that's a whole, what, 2 hours, yo? Y'all must really be trying to make this money, man. That's what's up, yo. And I'll be honest, this is exactly what it's going to take, man. So if you're somebody here and getting value, this is what it's going to take for you to start seeing those magnificent numbers that you've seen people throw out in the chats, guys. So let me go ahead and give you TP1, or first target, first exit. I don't know. Yeah, let's start calling them exits. You know what I mean? Exit number 1. Because we need to know when to get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of target. Nah, potential exit, yo. And I can always exit before that, man. You know what I'm saying? Start calling these exits. It's about to be Wealthy Vibes' own thing, man. We're going to have to get that.
Hey, Antoine.
What's up?
It's so weird that that you call the sell, because even though the harmonic scanner is still calling for a buy, you know, just by looking at support and resistant areas, the red arrow comes up and says like, hey, you might want to start selling. Hey, you might want to start buying. So that's why I was saying, I think I said in the chat that the scanner helps a lot. Just looking at the scanner, even though it's calling for a buy, doesn't mean that it's going to buy that whole time. It's going to reach every single target. It's still saying, hey, this is some sellers coming in the market. Go on your trade view, check it out, you know, see what's what, just as a support and little, you know, something, it might help somebody. So,
no,
yeah.
for sure. Number one thing that I used when I didn't know what the hell was going on was the harmonic scanner. It told me a lot. It told me that you're in the wrong direction. It told me, hey, man, it's still okay to keep, you know, in this trade. things like that, guys. But you know, one thing I want to say is I'm gonna pat myself on the back with this one, guys. Haven't y'all learned that I'm a little bit better than these scanners out here? You know what I'm saying? I think Larry confirmed that earlier this morning when he was like, remember he said the sell off? And I was gonna drop something in there, guys, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let my trading do the talking because it wasn't about like showing off. It was about identifying why that even happened in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I've been ahead of these scanners. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta really be like, you know, this is where I brag a little bit, yo. I've been ahead of these scanners, guys, for real. So, but it's only because of what I'm identifying. I'm not saying that it's like, oh man, I'm the greatest. Like, no, guys, I'm honing in on my skill so I can refine it and find these positions so I can stay in longer. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is just for a short amount of time. If I can stay in one more minute longer than you and that gives me, you know, like 20 to 30 more pips, then yeah, I'm loving that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be in those positions super early, guys. All right, so we're looking at this as a potential entry. Obviously, guys, we're gonna have to wait. I'll probably go over it, but again, tomorrow's Friday. I don't really like talking in the chats to get people like, you know, because Friday can be brutal, man. It could be brutal. So you guys have this. If we see it, if we don't get, if we get this and then it pushes all the way back down, our buy zone is around 127, 34, 127, 200. You know what I mean? Anywhere within that ballpark, guys, you're looking to buy because we have literally two positions that price could actually take from. So I like those positions. So anywhere in that zone, you might as well say anywhere in this zone, that opens up the opportunity for a buy. Again, compare it to the DXY too. See if the DXY is starting to be bullish at some point. And then just go from there, guys. So if you look, even where we entered, if you guys entered at the top again, you have three positions or two positions, or maybe you just entered one. You'll be in drawdown if it pops back up here. But if you entered here, which I'm pretty sure a couple people did, sniper entry, you don't have no drawdown. I mean, you probably have drawdown because the market's never going to let us get that super sniper entry. But, you know, it works, guys. So let me just give y'all this and y'all got y'all positions and hope y'all make a lot of money tonight. Well, enough to satisfy you before you go to bed, y'all. So again, I'm not in the business of trying to hold trades over on a Thursday. I'm looking to get in and get out. So when it starts showing me stuff that I don't like seeing, I'll exit. But I'm not going to clarify, guys. You have to make that decision and you have to be okay with the consequences because trading, even though we do it collectively, it's an individual sport. And there's going to be times where you're not going to have me, Nisha, the educator, whoever to say, hey, man, I think this is a good idea to pull out because what if we're wrong? And it's like, 1,000 pips. You know what I'm saying? Live with the consequences. So better for you to call that than you to be like, man, I could have stayed in this trade or I could have got out of this trade, you know, things like that, because we want people to be confident in them making their decisions. So I'm going to get rid of this, guys, and keep our original entry. So just match this up. Just match this up to where you entered, you know what I'm saying? And you should be straight. So let me make this all even because we like, even then, guys, right there, if this thing is selling off, it gave you a potential entry to enter right back in. I'm telling you, when you see this stuff, it's just like magic, guys. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even say nah, it is like magic because when I first saw this, I was like, and look at this, 16 pip. I forgot to adjust the stop loss, but a 16 pip stop loss, guys. Come on, you cannot for a potential 70 pips. What is that? A 1 to 4? That means we're going 4 times what we would. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, yo. Anyway, guys, anybody got anything for the class? How y'all felt about this, man? Y'all were very interactive today, man. So pat yourselves on the back, man, for everybody that showed up, man. The ones that are here today, you're gonna see it, man, and you're gonna benefit off of it. I promise you, yo. Man, this thing is just. Yeah, you're gonna benefit off of it, guys. So that's what's up, man. Again, anybody got anything for the class, yo? Anything you want to say? Like Marcus says, all hearts and minds are clear, yo. Oh, did I throw this in the chat? I didn't even throw it in the chat. Look at that. Y'all don't even say nothing. I mean, that's fine. Did I throw it in the chat? Man, that just looks so beautiful. Sniper entry, man. I don't make these rules up, man. I just trade them.
I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but your entry is also the 61/8 of that swing move. So it pulled back that line that you have is a 61/8 of that whole swing move. So I mean, it all lines up. So I think we're good for your TPs, you guys.
Even if we're not, we're in profit now. So you know what I mean? Like, it's like, guys. Say that again.
So I got 3 positions open.
Me too. Me too. Just because of that. So appreciate you guys, man. Let me jump on that Kendrick Lamar to close this out, man. So appreciate you guys as
I need a
always.
playlist too, Antoine. I need some good vibes like that when I'm looking at my chart.
I got you. I got you.
Trading Apple Music playlist.
I got you. I got you. So yeah, guys, appreciate y'all, man. We about to close out the night. So man, remember, manage your trade. Do what you need to do, guys. Like, too easy, man. Like, right? Too easy, man. Like, all you got to do is be patient, get those confirmations, and everything will just flow, man. Everything will
Antoine, before you go, have you uploaded all your stuff on your YouTube channel?
I don't upload everything. So
okay.
I don't like the calls with Daryl. I don't upload those because that's
okay. Are you going to upload the one when you're talking about the DXY? I want to look at that. And yeah, so I can get a little more.
I would have to see because I did clear out my Zoom. So did I do that recently?
That was, I want to say that was last week, Wednesday, I think, maybe.
Did I not push that out? I feel like
you probably did. I'll have to look.
Wednesday, I didn't because
okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'll have to look. Some stuff, depending on how I am that day, I don't push it out, but I am going, well, since you guys are here, I am going to transfer Wealth Wednesday to YouTube. So you're going to get Daryl and Larry, and on top of that, I'm going to do Wealth Wednesday at a